aha moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world. And he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested. And President Bouazizi only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President Weah to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouazizi
fewer residents in Monrovia receive irregular supply of electricity at one of the highest costs in West Africa. The woes of the power sector were compounded by a major donor apathy caused by the unaccountability of about $6 million United States dollars of the Norwegian donor fund. An overdue debt of 8.2 million United States dollars that was not paid by the previous administration stressed the cash flow of LEC and impeded its commercial activities already plagued by uncontrolled power theft. With a scant supply of expensive electricity to minute parts of 3 counties, to dark Liberia with majority of its blackout cities, towns, and villages was handed to His Excellency President George Weah for illumination. President Weah has increased the supply of electricity to 220,000 households from 35,000 households in 2018. Cities, suburbs, and towns in 9 counties, Montserrado, Margibi, Grand Cape Mount, Bombing, Bong, Maryland, Rivergy, Grand Jita, and Nima counties have received electricity for the first time since our Civil War. President Weah has increased LEC generation capacity from 88 megawatts in 2018 to 113 megawatts in 2023. He made it possible through the power purchasing agreement for the supply of 25 megawatts through the CLSG interconnecting lines. President Weah has also successfully transformed the Bushra power plant from use of diesel to heavy fuel oil and increased its generation capacity from 35 megawatts to 38 megawatts. President Weah has restored donors' confidence in the energy sector once more. He has, over the past 5 years, attracted hundreds of millions of dollars in support of major LEC projects under his administration. Among the projects is the 96 million United States dollar ongoing RESPACT project to procure and install 20 megawatt solar power plant. This project will also add 2 turbines to the existing McCoffey hydro plant to boost its generation capacity to 128 megawatts. On behalf of the Liberian people, President Weah has also formed a partnership with World Bank and West Africa Power Pool to conduct a feasibility study for the construction of a 150 megawatt hydropower plant on the St. Paul River. The study is near completion. When the St. Paul River hydropower project is constructed, it will have a generation capacity of 2 times more than the McCoffey hydro currently generates. Upon the urgings of President Weah, the World Bank has already pledged 300 million United States dollars toward the construction of the St. Paul hydropower plant. In a few years from now, the entire Liberia will receive stable and affordable electricity when President Weah completes the RESPAC 20 megawatt solar project, the 15 megawatt Scatec solar project, and the 150 megawatt St. Paul hydro plant. Upon completion of these projects, LEC will generate about 300 megawatts In President Weah's Liberia, 1.1 million persons have access to affordable electricity because he reduced the tariff on electricity from 35 cents per kilowatt to between 15 and 22 cents per kilowatt based on your customer type. President Weah has catalyzed the access to affordable electricity by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over $30 million United States loss per year and booked about 28,000 corporates. As a result of the anti-power theft campaign, over 15,000 new prepaid meters have been installed and more than 18,000 disconnections of illegal customers have been made. President Weah has made LEC financially stable by paying the previous administration overdue debts and by paying his government debt on time. Since 2018, the government of Liberia has been built up to 37 million United States dollars, and President Weah's government has paid up to 36 million United States dollars on time. President Weah has also issued executive orders exempting LEC from paying custom duties and general services tax on petroleum products, transformers, wires, and light poles to hasten LEC expansion program. As a result of all his efforts, 15,000 transformers have been added to LEC's network, while 2,199 kilometers of medium voltage lines have been installed. What a capable leader we have. Thank you, President Weah.
Broadcasting system, there's a guy they call Fagon, who's a victim of verbal diarrhea. His mother runs loosely, the Minister of Health, and the list goes on. Their name were on that list. Today, these people are still working. Nothing happened. Everything about Bouaka is all about making news and no follow-up, right? This very Bouaka, right, according to the Corruption Perception Index published in this year, I think sometime in March, they say 27 out of 100 is what Liberia ranks. So in short, Liberia ranks 135 out of 180 countries in the world. The perception index of corruption in Liberia is so high. Even Center on June 12th this year, Center says 83% of Liberians say corruption remains high, extremely high, most prominently among police, to where you have Blood for Mr. Gregor Kumo passing around and being exceedingly segregated in his quest to fight rape and other crimes around, followed by the health workers, those women who were saying, you harmonize my pay, I will harmonize your vote. Reports are saying that corruption remains extremely high in this sector, while Mr. Bouaka does nothing. More to that, to what you just said, the General Auditing Commission, the GSC is one of those anti-graft institutions enshrined in our Constitution. It is a derivative of the Constitution, directly from the best of the people, not an act. GSC is empowered by law to audit all government functionaries. GSC has come up with an audit, a very clear audit, and the opinion there, it was a qualified opinion. For those of you into business, when they take qualified opinion, it's not a good opinion. Qualified opinion. So government audit was done, 2.5 million to be precise, $2,806,470 was earmarked, was spotted to be in complete violation of our financial management laws, right? That money, in fact, they say was channeled through the Ministry of Public Works, the Labor Ministry, the Airport Authority, the Bureau of Concession, without any legislative approval. That is the government we are talking about here today, Mr. Prince Sherry and my dear brothers and sisters. So, Mr. Bouaka and his government, they have come on the back of corruption, failed promises to lie to the Liberian people. To lie to the Liberian people.
Liberia-led government has prioritized infrastructure development as one of its utmost deliverables to the Liberian people. Key among such infrastructures is affordable housing that is intended to lift people out of poverty. As the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment LACE continues to construct proper housing for impoverished community dwellers, the National Housing Authority, the NHA, has been engaging investors to erect housing for the people since the ownership of over 2,000 houses that previous governments built have been transferred to the inhabitants.
For the National Housing Authority, previously it has been, I think, 7 decades. Since its inception, they built only 2,180 houses, all of the assets combined together. So President Weah sent me here in June of 2019. And in 2019, in 6 months from June to December, we had signed into contract 96,000 houses.
The commitment of 96,000 houses is at the value $996 million US. That's a pretty good number.
The Weah government has signed into contract 96,000 houses. The first 1,000 of the 96,000 houses is being constructed right now.
The company, Millennium Construction Incorporated, is constructing 100 of the 1,000 houses in the John Coe town in Margibi County.
And then we'll move on to our sister, and then go to Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, and our brother Wilmont, in that order. Let's hear from you, Honorable Ba.
Yes, you see, corruption always associated with the unit. Somebody starting. Mute.
Somebody background is okay. Somebody background.
Wilmont.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of corruption is always associated with a unity party-led administration. We saw during the reign of Madam Sirleaf, she described corruption as public enemy number one, and later on, during her expiration time of her administration, what did she say? She said corruption was a vampire that it claimed the lives of many people because it denied children of going to school, it denied pregnant women from giving birth into health centers. It denied that young university graduate of job after graduation, going to school for years. It did a lot of damages to many of the citizens in Liberia due to corruption, and it continued to increase in Liberia. And this is why we've seen international report, not CDC report, Congress for Democratic Change or Coalition for Democratic Change reports coming up. These things did not happen out of the blue moon. We have, like Randall said the last time, we have no capacity to bribe these international, institutions that come out with these results or these reportages. No, we have no capacity to bribe the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, that is now reporting that the economic growth rate of the country, has dwindled. It has reduced. It can no longer go forward than was previously projected, a little, of 5%. It can no longer be in that range because there is massive looting, massive corruption under Joseph Newman Boakai-led government. Because there is corruption, there is hardship. Because there is corruption, people cannot get access to basic social services. Because
So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to use this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to all of you who continue to remain very supportive to what we do here. We want to say thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. And as always, we ask that you please do us a favor. And that favor that we require of you is to kindly hit for us the share button. Share with as many persons as you can share with, and then let's all have a wonderful time. I mean, a very wonderful time. Please. In a special way, we want to welcome Nina Kuya, the belated birthday lady. Our sister celebrated her natal day. We want to say happy uh, belated birthday to you. Thank you so much for everything. We want to welcome Salia Lansana Kane. You are highly welcome. Thank you. Joining us there from Broville, Mosorado. You are highly welcome. And those of you who are joining us, just make it your duty to please just, let us know so that we can recognize, appreciate your presence here. Thank you so very kindly. We welcome all of you. Those of you who are joining us from the various platforms, we do appreciate you. And as usual, here we always ask that you do us one favor. And that one favor we require of you is to please hit for us the share button. Those of you who are joining us from on the on-air webinar, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. So we have the online platform on the webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We are expanding gradually. We are expanding gradually. So we want to say welcome to all of you and then hit for us the share button. There are few things that I have here for you, and then we are going to begin our today's discussion. The first announcement that I have for you is concerning the DMV CDC USA chapter. So the DMV chapter of the CDC USA comprises of 3 different chapters. So when you hear of the CDC USA, whenever you hear us talking about the CDC USA DMV chapter, the DMV chapter comprises of 3 chapters. That is Washington, D.C., Virginia, and that of Maryland. So these 3 chapters come together and make up the DMV chapter. So if you are a citizen and living in Washington, D.C., in Maryland, or in Virginia, we want to say to you, there is no need for you to, be out there. Let's say this, my people. The right time that you should ever associate with the CDC is now. I want to repeat this. The time that the CDC need you is right now. It is about time that we come together. We come on board. We contribute our quota in whatever minute way, small way we can do. Do not sit on the fence and say, well, we will sit on the fence. And when time comes, then you want to show yourself. Sometimes people may not, kind of be like very receptive. So I want to appeal to you. If you are a citizen living in whatever state you are living in, get close to your chapter. Thank God for technology. In here in the United States, most of the time we don't really have the kind of in-person meeting like that. Most of our meetings are online. So it is good that you start to associate with your chapter or with the CDC USA. Don't sit down and say, well, I will sit down, I will fold my arms, I will not be. No, don't do it. We want to appeal to you. Don't do it. So if you are in the USA or you live in a specific state, get to us. We have all of the information of all of the chapter leaders, and we can link you to the chapter that we are supposed to link you to. For example, if you are living in maybe New York, we can link you to the New York chapter. If you are living in places like Iowa, for example, we can link you to the Iowa chapter. If you are living in North Dakota or in South Dakota, we can link you to the chapter. If you are living in Nebraska, or maybe you are in Florida or in New Jersey, wherever you find yourself, in whatever state, you know, the CDC is so organized in a way that we are decentralized. And what is happening now in the CDC is what we call a process of recalibration. So there are a lot of activities that are going on to recalibrate. Next year, the CDC USA will be going for her national convention. Right now, we are having different conventions all around the place. The DMV just had her convention, which we were privileged to be elected. And let me see if I can show you some of the pictures. Let's see if we can bring you some of the pictures here. Just bear with us. Let's see if we can bring you some of the. Okay, fine. I think we are here. Yeah, we can bring you some. So the DMV chapter had her own convention. Let me just bring this here for you to see. So the DMV, which comprises of Washington D.C., Maryland, and that of Virginia, we had our own, you know, a local convention, and the convention went well. It was really an exciting moment, you know, in the convention where we were elected as chair, you know, of the DMV chapter. These are just some of the pictorial of the occasion or the activities. Some very colorful activity, very nice activities. You know, these are just some pictorial of the. Yeah, these are some of the paraphernalia that we had, you know, at the convention site. These are all pictorials of the convention, you know, that we had our own. It was just a
So help me God.
taking our oath, the oath of office.
Local members, you have
When we're taking our oath of
the
office and
democratic
inducted
process,
into office. So
let
let's
this
just
officer to
bring you a
voice
few of these.
your wishes in many matters relating to the functioning of the local CDC DMV.
Yeah, definitely Minnesota. You
Yours
guys
is
are
the
one of
task
the
of
great chapters.
assisting
Yeah.
every
So let me just say, Minnesota. Yeah, you guys are one of the great chapter. Yeah, Minnesota. You guys are doing exceptionally well. You know, you guys are doing exceptionally well in Minnesota. There, we want to say thanks. But you know, the DMV is always the mother chapter. The DMV here is the, you know, the political chapter. The DMV here, yeah, is the political chapter. We'll talk about the politics. This is the home of the politics, the DMV, you know. So, but Minnesota is doing exceptionally well. Chairman George Harris is there. He's doing very well. We get Iowa. Zile Tote is doing exceptionally well. We get New Jersey. We have how you call Fanso Dekla is doing, you know, very well. We have Shialo Washington. We have Melvin. He's doing well. And we have, you know, Pennsylvania. We have our brother there, Roosevelt. You know, he's doing well. I mean, all over the place, we are all doing very well. So these are just some of the video of the activities that was held in the DMV when we had our convention. So let's just play some of these while we get ready to bring on board our people for today's discussion.
local members. You have had the democratic process. Let this officer to voice your wishes in many matters relating to the functioning of the local CDC DMV chapter. Yours is the task of assisting every way possible, no matter how small or how large the individual.
So this was our own convention.
It is the cooperation of each member that makes for the success and cause the chapter to become
Mohammed
more
Fofana, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us.
To do.
We want to welcome our chaplain,
At this time, I want
Josephine
to
Campbell.
let all of you know
Welcome.
that
Fanny
these
Nya,
are
thank you
the
so much.
representatives that you have selected, and they have been duly installed. I want to say thank you for the efforts of being here. As I always emphasize, you officers, it is now your responsibility to unite and to enforce the wishes of the party. Do not allow personal vendetta to cause you to go astray from your responsibility. Unity is what we need for the next election that is coming. Be vigilant, not only showing out to show on social media, but what you do.
Sorry, the program was very wonderful. It was spectacular, a very great program. So again, please, when you are in whatever state you find yourself, the CDC is all over. The CDC is all over. Please make it a point and be part of, your local chapter. So these are just some of the pictures. These are just some pictures, of our local convention. These are just some of the pictures. Yeah, these are just some of the pictures. So let's see, bring you some of the pictures of the convention. Yeah, very wonderful, it was a very wonderful and colorful ceremony. Yeah, these are some of the paraphernalia the DMV chapter printed. Yeah, these are some of the paraphernalia. Yeah, so it was a very wonderful time, man. It was a very wonderful time. I mean, a very, very wonderful time we had there. A very wonderful time.
So help me God. Local members, you have had the democratic process.
So that was how it was, it was very wonderful. We had a very wonderful time. We want to say thanks to all of you who were online. There were some of you who were online following. In fact, the last, let me see, we have about 98,000 persons that watched that particular. Let me show it to you here. Just bear with me. Let me show it to you. We have about 98,000 persons that watched that particular event. I was looking at it and I was like, okay, 98,000 persons. Let me just show it to you. Just bear with me. Let me show it to you. These are just all couple of, warm up before we can get our people on. Let me show it to you. We have up to now we have 98,000 persons. Just day before yesterday, I was looking at the video and we have 98,000 persons that have watched that video so far. 98,000 persons. So we had so many people following the activities online. Just bear with me. I want to show it to you. I didn't store it, so. But again, please share, hit the share button, share with friends, share with family members, and let's all have a wonderful time. Let's all have a wonderful time. Let's have a wonderful time. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look for it. Trying to look for it here. Just bear with me. 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 Let me bring something while we are looking for it. I'm trying to display it here. So, Mohammed Fofana, which one of the state are you in, Mohammed? Which one of the state or where you are? Where is your location, Mohammed? Where is your location? Mohammed, or just give us your location, Mohammed. Give us your location and we will be able to. So while this is playing, I want to get something from the back here. So Mohammed, give us your location, all right?
dredging has commenced at the
Give us your location,
Phobia,
Mohammed.
the gateway to the Liberian economy, paving the way
Oh,
for
you know
bigger
what?
vessels to berth at the port. The
Let me
dredging
pause
kicked off
this and
on
then
4
give
February
you this information.
2020.
So those of you who are civilian and you are living in the United States, you can get to us. The number is right here. Let me put my number right up here. You can get to me at any time of the day, any time of the night. You can give us a call. This is my number. You can give us a call and we will put you in contact or we'll connect you with the chapter. Whatever state you find yourself in, we will connect you with the chapter that are there. In all of the states, we have chapters, leaders in all of the states. So just get in contact with us. This is my number. It's open. 443-991-3356 is my number. Both WhatsApp and direct. You call me, you will get me at any time. So just call me and then we will be able to direct you to the correct place. So once you send us a message, okay, Mohammed, you are in Grand Cape Mount. Okay, that's good. In Medina, okay, Grand Cape Mount. Okay, so we have the chairman number there. I'm going to let me see. Let me put this down here so that I can remember this. Mohammed Fofana. So we have one Vani Sharif. He is the chairman. Let me just put some info. So we have one Vani Sharif. I will try to bring him on here. We have one Vani Sharif. So this is my number, Mohammed. This is my number. So you can just get my number. I'm on WhatsApp and I'm on or direct. Or better still, you can go to my Facebook page or this page that we on. Go there and just send me a message that, oh, this is Mohammed, I mean SYZ, and then we can start from there. Then I can connect you with the chairman there, one Vani Sharif. I will connect him with you immediately. Then we can start there. So thank you on that. So if you are a citizen living in the US, if you are a citizen living in the US, it's about time that you come on board and let's do this together. 2029, President Weah, nothing can stop it. So that is that. Let's play this and then
The much talk about dredging process has begun. I know there are many critics out there who've been
so while we're waiting for our
propounding different views as it relates to the dredging of the port. Realistically speaking, the port should have been dredged somewhere around September. But knowing that tars are higher during the rainy season, that's not the best time to dredge a port. So we talk with
So we are
our
waiting for our people
partners,
in the next few minutes
informing
to
them that
start.
dredging will be done in the dry season, whereas the tide will be low. So it will tell the people that want to go 13 meter will go exact 13 meter. And when the rainy season comes, the 13 meter could go up to 16 or 17 meter because the tides get higher and then the depth is lower. So you could get 16 meters.
But while the port is being dredged, some vessels will still berth, thereby continuing economic activities while solving the problem.
Henceforth, all vessels berthing at the Freeport of Monrovia should be 10 meters below because we have cetacean. Cetacean is the coming out of the sand getting wet and then taking part of the depth of the port. So cetacean has caused us now to decrease the kind of vessel that we berth at the port.
The last time the Freeport of Monrovia was dredged was in May to June 2017. Van Ork, which is said to be the world's third largest dredging and marine company, is the company currently dredging the Freeport of Monrovia.
It's the third largest and best dredging company in the world. So they have the expertise to perform the duty that they are going to perform.
Are there plans to further utilize the services to dredge other ports in Liberia?
We are doing the dredging of the port, and that's not the only port. We are negotiating with them to also enter Sano for our Greenville. because a lot of logs coming from there. Most of the ships that berth to Sando, they cannot take all the logs, so then they have to come to Buchanan or come to Monrovia to take the remaining logs. We are negotiating with them to also enter the port of Sando or Greenville so that it got to be dredged, maybe dredged up to 10 or 11 feet or 11 meters, I mean. So more besides that, we want to create the first inland or dry port in the Republic of Liberia. You know, Liberia used to be a major transit point. People from Malay, people from Guinea, people from Africa, they used to import their goods through Liberia. But because of the war and other things that came our way, they are no longer doing it. But the creation of the dry port in Ganta will make the people that are in Guinea who don't have to go 72 hours drive to Conakry. They can just drive 45 minutes from their farm, a rubber farm, and come right there to Ganta, and then the goods are taken from there and carried to the port of Buchanan or to the free port of Monrovia for export. So the inland port, we are working on it. We have purchased the land already. The land belongs to the National Port Authority already. We are looking for investors that come in, they are expressed their interest. We are trying to evaluate them. Pretty soon we'll try to select one of them who will take over and then maybe change that entire environment and create about 2,000 jobs.
With the illustrious MD, the Port Authority continues to strive to make the Freeport of Monrovia a vibrant economic hub of the country and the government of President George Manneh Weah.
So, Mohammed, what happened is that Facebook is going to block your number. Facebook has blocked your number. Facebook has blocked your number. So what you're going to do, when I mean block your number, it's not going to show it to me. But my number is up here. You see my number right here on the screen. So you can just, take my number and then send me. Yeah, or you can just send me a message. Thank you.
A developmental giant in Liberia's history. The
Kindly
MPA
hit
has
for us the share
constructed a
button, fellow
corporate
Liberians.
headquarters.
The building is
Share with family
finished.
members.
We are now trying to put in office materials, and not sooner than later, maybe before the 15th of March, when you come here, you will not see us no longer in containers, has been done since 1949. You will not see us in makeshift building called offices. You will see us in a modern corporate headquarters. That when you enter, you can compare with any corporate headquarters in any part of the world that what will be in. This government has come in to improve the living condition of the people. The government has not come in to maintain things the way they were done before. So if you see the corporate headquarters, very magnificent building, and it gives a new picture to the environment called the Freeport of Monrovia.
The headquarters is just one of some of the numerous deliverables of this administration. What are some of those deliverables that the MD wants to be remembered for?
There should be a legacy when Bloto is no longer at the Freeport of Monrovia. When people enter here and see this structure, they will say, yeah, this structure came here when there was a Bloto over here, was the managing director, or the direct guardian of the excellency that George Manneh Weah. When people go to Ganta, Akbuapa, and enter the inland port, since independence, we have never had a dry port in Liberia. And that will be one of the major dry ports in West Africa. I want to remember that, look, the creation of the dry port, it came into being on the leadership of Honorable Bill Tuawe. I want to remember that Vanor, the third largest and best dredging company in the world, when they dredge a port here, I don't want to see it after 2 years, people start dredging again. I want to see it that after 5 years, let us have the value for money. They will not dredge it like before. Then after 2 years, citation, we need to dredge it again. After 1 year, ship can come and you want to dredge it again. We want to dredge the port, and after dredging it, let the length of time before it can be dredged again be at least 4 to 5 years. I want to remember as one of the managing directors here at the Freeport of Monrovia who go into our the contractors and could talk to anybody who are not taking himself to be a demagogue and over everybody, but who are interacting with everybody and getting idea from them and then using the idea and the idea he benefited from them to say, yeah, Peter, we're doing well. Do idea and not really 100% the creation of Bilto, but Bilto was telling us idea from people, and he put the idea into.
So, fellow Liberians home and abroad, again, we want to use this time to welcome each and every one of you under the Palava Hut as usual. We ask that you do us a favor, and that favor we require of you is to kindly hit for us the share button. Share with friends, share with family members, and let's have a wonderful time together. I mean, a very, very wonderful time together. We are privileged to be joined by the Honorable Randolph Masekwe Dogbayu, the Deputy Secretary General of the CDC Global. Those of us in the US here, we like to use that word global. Yeah, global. All right, BB people then. We're everybody. Yeah, yeah. We want, we like to say when we are pronouncing it, we say CDC Global. Yeah. So we have the Deputy Secretary General of CDC Global here. B-man. They want to make a BBB decision there. But Honorable, you are welcome, sir.
Yeah, my man, you're the power, the way you can see the things, see global. I'm like, but we change the constitution, we can see global there. But
You're global, man. You're global. You're global.
But yeah, my dear brother, we are glad to be in our capacity to serve you, to serve the people, to serve our country by extension. So again, as always, we are glad to be here to communicate with you, fellow Liberians, to tell you what we ought to get from the national covers, whether being a social issue, political issue, whether being the issue about natural resources, about our tradition, our customs, whether it's about our national and international image, our diplomatic image, whether it's about soccer, whether it's about our girls' children, our boys' children, our students, whether it's about the marketeer, right? Whether it's about rape or the issue about transportation, whether it's about police brutality, security, the rule of law, whatever the situation is, this is where we come every week to communicate with you, to enlighten you, to speak with you, to talk to you, to appeal to your conscience and make you understand, what you ought to know, and together we can have a conversation. And this conversation is just, from the menu of nationalism. So, fellow Liberians, again, we are glad to be here today to discuss with you as a conveyor of information, as a tell our watching on how our state is being governed. And so, my dear brother Prince Sharif, I'm glad we are here today. It seems to be promising. Today is the last week of November. It's something that is not promising. Other people died just last night, just last week, just this hour. But we have all of the energy in this world to be on the show today. So for me, I'm personally grateful to God Almighty. Other calling the Supreme Spirit, other calling Yahweh, other calling Brahman, other calling Allah, other calling Yusu. And so you must call him the Lord and Savior. Thank him. I'm glad to be on the show today, and I'm so happy to interact with you today, my dear brother Prince Sharif.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dogbayu. We move on to Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, it's a privilege having you. Welcome, Chief. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. You are muted.
Thank you, Honorable Sherry. Thank you, Mr. Dogbayu. It's an honor to be on a unique platform with you guys to deliberate national issue and to enlightening the understanding of the Liberian people of how the governing of our countries is being navigated, and to just unearth those lies and those chicaneries that have misled our people over the years. So it's good to be here this morning or this afternoon.
Thank you so very kindly. Again, fellow Liberians, we want to say welcome to all of you. We want to say welcome to Helena Ba. How are you, my lovely sister? We want to say welcome to Momo Blamo. Thank you so much. Momo Blamo, you are welcome. All of you joining us, Mohammed, Fofana, all of you, Vani, Nya, all of you that are joining us from the Vera platform. We want to say thank you so very kindly. It's always a privilege for us to have you here, and thank you so much for your presence. As usual, we ask that you do us a favor. And that favor we require of you, as we always say, hit for us the share button. Make sure, make sure you share it in the chat room and let somebody know that, we are here. Just let somebody know that we are here. We'll be having a wonderful time. So today, before going to our main discussion, I want to ask a question because this is part of our discussion. But I want to ask a question.
On this conference that I went for.
Pressing issue. Honorable Dogo, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. This has to do with the issue of rape. Just few days ago, we saw a mother whose 8-year-old daughter got raped again. As we speak, we are yet to get any report from the police relative to what happened to the little girl who got raped by one deputy minister of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Brian McGill. We are yet to hear from the police about the little 14-year-old girl who got raped by one coordinator from the Ministry of Agriculture. There was another girl, a 17-year-old girl, who was raped by one of the special assistants at the LPRC to, the director there at LPRC. And now we are getting another news of a 14-year-old girl that was raped again. And in the midst of all of these rape that are going on, the Ministry of Gender is yet to issue any statement. What is happening? And we are hearing about the increase in HIV, in Liberia. What is going on? Where are we? Why is it that the government is now speaking against this thing? They are not even highlighting it. Let's hear from you, sir, before we even go into our discussion today.
So what is going on is something we keep saying, and I like the way you bring out the rape issue all of the time. And I urge us to always talk about this, make it an issue, make it a priority, because it's about Liberia's children, it's about our girls' children, it's about the vulnerable population, it's about those juveniles who we should protect, it's about the future leader of our country. To see a young kid, 8 years old, to see a young kid, still in their infancies, somebody who not really experiencing puppet, the puppet age, when you that age where you start experiencing head and other stuff on sensitive part of your body. Some of these kids don't even having experienced that yet they've been raped. They've been raped in the glaring eyes of our government. They've been raped in broad daylight. And our government is unperturbed. Our government is not moved. They feel inspired that young girls and boys, because boys too have been raped. The only reason why you don't hear the issue about these boys because of social stigma, because of shame. The reporting is an issue. The reporting culture and stigmatization to hear that you've been raped is something that might be with you forever. So many young boys too are living with that social stigma. And so, my dear brother, the country, I always want you to play that video when the man of God, he foretold, he saw the future. The prophecies was glaring. And that reminds me about a book called The Gods Are Not to Blame, written by Ola Rotami. Ola Rotami is a playwright from Nigeria. In that book, a curse was placed upon a child. The spiritual being, whether you believe in tradition, you believe in spirituality, whatever you believe in, once that supreme authority is giving you, you don't invade, you act. in that book, the situation that is going on with the prophecy that was given and with Igno, it reminds me of the book when the child was born to Queen Oduala and King Adidusa of Kuduti. When the child is born as per tradition, that child must be taken to the Ogunshuan, to Ogbatara, the gods of creation, to predict that child's future. And so when Ogbatara, the gods of creation, when a child was carried there by King Adidusa and Queen Oduala, the priest then called Baba Fakune. Baba Fakune was an Ifa priest. He was blind, but all-knowing. That's how the book described him. He was a blind man, but in spite of his physical blindness, he has extreme spiritual inclination. He could see beyond the obvious. And so in that book, we were told the priest unveiled what the child would become. That child, the child was called Oduwale. Oduwale was the firstborn child. And so they needed to predict his future to know what he has brought into this world. When they predicted his future, they said, this child is cursed. Prince, are you listening to me?
Definitely.
They said, this child is cursed. This child will kill the father and marry the mother. Imagine that. We call that abomination upon the earth. And so because this child was cursed from birth, because of his harsh temper, this child has a harsh temper, he will kill his father and marry his mother. So the king asked, what then shall we do? They say, the only thing is to kill the child in the Ipitu forest and kill the child. That's the only way the prophecy will not come to pass. The prophecy was done. He gave the child to a guy called Bonga. Bonga was the chief messenger to the king. When Bonga went, he disobeyed the words of the gods. Instead of killing the child, he gave the child to an old man called Ogundidi in the evil forest and came back and lied that the child was killed. Fast forward, that child grew, he left the home of his foster parent, he went, going out of town. His father, who was a king, was coming, they met somewhere, and they say his father caused him. He didn't know that was a part. They went into a first spiritual fight and killed a man. He went into a town, he went by in that same town, in Kutuji. The people, because the king has died, another group of people from Ikedu, they created war. He went and fought for the people, and he won the war. So as a means of appreciating him, they made him king. And when he became king, he got to marry the widow, which is his mom. And so the prophecy came to pass. The analogy here is this: Job Waka is a bad child curse to lead. The prophecy was made by a man of God. We know it. Say when Job Waka wins, the rich will suffer, the poor will suffer, the children will be raped, police will beat people, people will die, accident everywhere, pimping boys will be killed, marketeer will not serve.
People of Liberia and
this is the situation. This is the situation, my brother. This is the situation. This is
if you allow,
this is the situation. So I end on this note. You can play you can play that prophecy. Yeah, you can play that.
So thank you for carrying us, through this. I like the way you lay out. And fellow Liberian, listening to this, we'll continue to play
the
this.
people of Liberia and George, where if you allow the opposition to win, you will suffer. The Liberians will suffer. Our economy hardship, poor will suffer, rich will suffer, every people will suffer. You see, all the four classes of human will suffer. We suffer. I'm not from Liberia, but that's the message of the Lord for the people in Liberia. If you put that opposition of Bukene or Bukani to be your president, Liberia will sink. Calamity will befall Liberia. You don't expect joy again. The name Liberia will crash. This person has nothing to offer you. Spiritual Liberia will die. The best man for this job is George Weah. Vote him and he will do better than ever. He will do better.
Stop right there. So like the prophet said, Liberia is now spiritually naked. We are impoverished. We are in spiritual poverty. We did not listen. So when you ask me what happened with the rape is just one of the derivative of that prophecy that was ignored, my dear brother. That is the situation we are into. That's just my conclusion.
Wow. Thank you so very kindly. But the success, A.B. Dennis, it is becoming visible on a daily basis. It is scaring, but that's the reality. Like Honorable Doa, you put it, you cannot jump over the prophecy. Even though they collected this child and say, yeah, we'll get rid of it, we'll carry in the forest, we'll throw you away. But at the end of the day, everything that was foretold by the gods came to fruition. As to success, A.B. Dennis, this issue of rape is becoming scary. And unfortunately, the government is not even doing anything about it. The Ministry of Gender, they are not even giving accurate reports about it. They are silent. They are very quiet. Let's hear from you, sir.
So thank you, Prince, and thank you, my comrade Dubayu, for that, brilliant foundation that you laid. You know, Prince, when you ignore the instruction of God, it has its own adverse consequences. It has its own way of coming back to you, and it comes very strong with a huge penalty. Liberia, we have politicized our country to the point that we don't even listen to anything any longer that had to do with religion, that had to do with the spirit word. A pastor will come down and tell you, say, oh, maybe Vanessa coming back to win the election. They say, oh, Vanessa pay him in Vanessa pocket. Another pastor will come and say, maybe President, we are, he's coming back for the secretary. Say, hey, that one has a D-share, we are not paying him. Maybe you can prophesy on Baga, you say, oh, Baga have paid him. So we have politicized our country to the point that we don't longer listen to the voice of the spirit.
I'm sorry.
We no longer listen to the voice of the spirit. Okay? Religious people have compromised themselves. They don't longer speak what the truth is. The truth has been compromised. This issue of rape brains, it did not just start right now. All right? The man who should be the final arbiter of our tradition, the Minister of Internal Affairs, who should be the front runner of our culture and tradition, was reported to have raped a lady in a hotel. The video was all over here on the internet. There were no investigation. There were no even little discussion to ascertain whether it was true or it was even lied. This government feel they are not answerable to the public. They are not answerable to the Liberian people. So they do things that please them. They don't care. Since the inception of this government, there have been more than 7 rape cases. Have you gotten any report? No. And sometimes when these kind of things are happening, it's just a clear evidence of the fulfillment of the prophecy that man of God prophesied. Because sometimes when you become stubborn as people, when God is about to punish you or you're about to get the reward of your stubbornness, the people who lead don't even listen to you. They don't feel for you. It's like, for example, when God told the children of Israel that, hold on, your time is coming to have a king, you will have a good governance system, hold your peace, allowed my will to prevail. They say, oh no, look around, oh, we are tormented. The Philistines, the Philistine country harm their kings, and then all over around us there's king and people are governing their people. Why we don't have a king? So they demanded God for a king. And God gave them Saul. We that are Bible students know how that scenario or how that situation ended with the children of Israel when it comes to Saul. They were tormented by so embarrassingly, to the point that they had to go back to God to cry, and God had to ordain David as a king to liberate the children of Israel from the hand of Saul. Okay, so this prophecy came during the election that this woman brother has nothing to offer our country. When you allow him to become president, there'll be calamity. Are we not experiencing calamity in Liberia today? Houses burning everywhere. Simple things that should not happen are happening in our country. But we sit down and politicize it because I'm from the Unity Party, so I support whatever that is happening. I'm from the CDC, so I support. No, let's look at what the reality is. Are these things not happening? So the rape issue, praise, until the citizens themselves rise up, that government will do nothing. They just protected McGill this few days when he raped. Another alleged rape issue came from the Minister of Agriculture of another 14-year-old girl. Another lady this few days was at the police station demanding justice for her daughter. And all these things, look, they're not going to pay attention to it. These people came to loot, and they are looting, and whatever else happens, they don't care.
Thank you, sir.
They don't care.
Thank you. You know, I want to play this video. It's very important because there is a breaking news, fellow. Like, well, I don't like to say breaking news, but again, you know,
It's disturbing. It's a disturbing news.
It's a disturbing news. Let's put it this way: it's a disturbing news. All of us were on this platform when we raised the issue. We flagged the issue and ran with this particular information. When a deputy boss at the LDEA made an open confession that members of the executive, some members of the legislative branch, and even down to the judiciary, that these people were involved in the dealing of drugs. When he made that allegation, Joseph Numa Boyka, being influenced by other people around him, decided to let go of Anthony Suwa, this man. And I want to play his voice for you to hear it before we play you the other video and go to what we're supposed to go to. This is damaging. This is scary. And let's listen.
People on this drug thing, there's a reason for that. Because even in the society, from all sectors, I will say openly here, from the executive, the first person government, and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you find somebody involved with drugs. The executive, the first person government, and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money. From the executive, the first person government, and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so
My people, you're here. This particular man who Joseph Numa Boyka appointed at the time as deputy boss of the LDEA. He was on the platform of the government, the place where government can go disseminate information. The Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. He was right there at the Mika press briefing. And he said that drugs is all over the place. In the executive, people are there engaged in the drugs business. In the legislative branch, etc., etc. When he said it, in less than no time, he was dismissed by Joseph Numa Boyka. Today, fellow Liberians, something again happened. And I want to play you this video. It's just a few minute video that I want to play here. And I want us to have the opportunity to this video before we even start to discuss or ask questions on it. Okay, let me add it here. Just bear with me. Let me try to do this. Sometimes, it's just bear with us while we try to do this. Okay, fine. That's good.
He just so you know, the suspects that were arrested for drug, he said he's from the office of the vice president. He said he's from the office of the vice president, and he keeps to bribe the LTA agents here. And so the LTA, the tension continued to grow here because, he's claiming that the LTA ate the money. He have his ID card. So, from what we are told, he's from the office of the vice president. And he came to talk to the DA to release his ID.
Clifford Payne, see his ID card. Staff of the vice president, yes, his ID card. I hope those of you who are watching, you are watching it. That's why I paused it here for you to see. Clifford Payne, office of the vice president. There is it.
This is his ID card.
You see there?
This is his ID card. This is his ID card. And so we are told he's from the office of the vice president, who actually came to talk to the LTA. Hey, guy! And so the LTA, the place is getting tense here. Yeah, at Simple Bridge, the LTA, there are allegations of the colleague there who is from the office of the vice president attempting to bribe the LTA to release somebody who they say is, somebody who is one of the suspects. And so, there he is.
So someone is asking for my number. The number is right there. I just put the number right there. That is the number. So you can just copy that number. That is my number. Thank you.
Let's continue to build here with the LTA. Let's continue to build here with the LTA. The LTA is insisting that it will take it. The LTA is insisting that it will take it. This is Simple Bridge, LTA, under Commander Fode Malva. And from all indication, the news that we are getting is the fact that the colleague who has been placed in the vehicle is said to come from the office of the vice president, and he keeps specifically to bribe the LTA. According to him, he has given the LTA some money already to be able to release the suspects, but because they didn't release the suspect, and so he started agitating, and this aroused the angers of the LTA. Everybody inside the camera recording everybody. The DA action is being seen also. So as you can see, the DA is not taking it lightly. Anybody who beat the mayor, you on camera, you can be beating the man.
Now, I want to pause this right here. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, I want to start this from you. When the deputy LDEA boss, Anthony Swa, made that particular allegation and alarm, there were some people in the government who beat on him. You can't say that kind of thing. You're not supposed to be like that. And he was fired. They fired him. Today, this is another day that somebody will say, if we put it in one of the Nigerian, you call broken English, it say, the breeze now show foul nyash. From information that we are gathering, this fellow went to the Zoom because somebody who is very, very close to the vice president was caught by the LDEA officers with drugs. And at the end of the day, he was arrested and drugs were taken from him. This guy went there by the name of Clifford Payne, went there under the cover of darkness. He even changed his name. Because he didn't want people to know, he changed his name, called the LDEA deputy commander and say, "Look, my man," and show the man his ID card and say, "My man, this is my ID card. Actually from the vice president office. Can't free the person. I'm not going to show my actual name. My name is Scully. Yeah, refer to me as Scully." According to the information that we are gathering, he took $700 United States dollars and gave it to the deputy commander. He said, "Let him go. It's a mandate from the chief, but I don't want to do this public." And it was there that the guy too felt that it was a setup. I don't know why, but he was a patriot and decided that he would seize the ID card and seize the $700 and arrest the guy. And we all see how this guy is even fighting, because no common person will be fighting like that if you don't have big hands behind you. And we saw the ID card. Pastor Sose, let's hear from you. What is happening?
Prince, our country is sinking gradually. Our country is sinking. And if care is not taken, before we come to the statement of the former Deputy Director General of the LDEA, let's start with April Nkrumah, with Fatika and SYZ. Do you know what brought the fight at the LDA at the time between the Fatikas and April Nkrumah and the rest of the guys? It's because they were cartel at the high level of the government that, quote unquote, according to Fatika, were being protected by the then overall boss of the LDA, April Nkrumah, because he himself, according to what he named Fatika, he was one of those cartel. So it has been an in-house thing. It has been, it's within, it's among the hierarchy of government. So to fight it become an issue. All this thing will then see. Now, bring that one thing I want you to look at today, please. Before I even come to this guy, the people been arresting drugs. Each time they arrest drugs, how many people do you see them displaying being the people they arrested those drugs from? We want to see the drug they arrested. It becomes difficult for you to see those who are the dealers, who are the cartels you are arresting those drugs from. Do they have names? Do they not have pictures for you to display? In America, when you are arrested for anything, even common traffic violation, you have to go to jail for that. They do a marshal. And probably the international work and know that this man, it also helps for your family to know where you are, what happened to you, and SYZ. Why in Liberia, when cartels are arrested or when drugs are arrested, we don't see the people behind, we don't see the hand behind those drugs. The only time you see people, they pour drugs in front and then they pour something and they take that picture is that those local people can find from they don't get those small ghetto. But the actual dealers, you don't see them. And that is why God now is trying, God is exposing these people gradually so that the public themselves can see them. Okay? And for someone coming from the office of the vice president to get into drug issues should not be a shock to any of us here. It should not be a surprise. Okay? It has been alleged on many occasions of the vice president contested acts he has been carrying even before becoming a vice president. All right. So for someone to come from his office to go bribe the LDEA to release someone they arrested, then it sent out the clear evidence of the kind of thing these people are doing with our country. Today, just the vice president, staff that we're seeing. How many people? And the only reason why you even seeing the staff of the vice president is because the person to whom he paid that money to, or he carried on that bribe, choose to be patriotic to the country and say no. But if that guy that accepted whatever came and said, okay, my man, not go, tell the person not do it, yeah, okay, and the person you go, please, you will not hear it. You will not hear it. So what we should be praying for, that like-minded people, like that commander, who refuse to accept bribe and let the suspect, go away free. These are the kind of people we should be praying for in our society. God give us more people like this who will stand for the country and not in the interest of just only their pocket and the few dollars that will come their way. Brother, $700 in that, brother, that's no money. And you know the next thing, if that man had accepted that bribe, you are not going to report that drugs because there will be a question who you arrested. They will get that drug somewhere, rack it, and get some money in their pocket. But he chose to be patriotic. So kudos to him. Thank you, Mr. Commander. You did extremely well, and we hope that other people will follow your footsteps. But Prince, I can assure you, nothing will come out of that thing. Nothing will come out of it. So for the office of the vice president, you will see that man go to work tomorrow. You will enjoy the confidence. If people can take state platform and they build state leaders, news events on our state leaders, and they enjoy the confidence of the president, what about a bribery of allegation of you? Prince, believe you me, nothing will come out of that arrest.
Thank you.
You don't mind that those guys. DEO even receive a call to them and say, look, you release that guy immediately. Just the same way the former DEA, one of their boss did one time by his daughter. That the same thing you do with that man. You just call say, release that man, and then they release the man. Nothing will come out of it. That's the kind of problem we have in our country.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. We want to welcome our own brother. We commonly call him Yellow Machine. That is the name that all of you know. So when you're calling him Yellow Machine, don't be confused. That the same person will call him Yellow Machine. That's the same thing. I want to say welcome, my brother. Great. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a privilege for us to have you here. Thank you so very kindly. We move on to Honorable Dogbayu. Honorable Dogbayu, this is a sad news. Somebody will say a breaking news, but it is a sad news. Woke up this morning to a very terrible news of a staffer in the office of the vice president was sent to go and bribe in order to release somebody who the vice president considered as his godson, from the information that we gathered, to release him from prison after he was caught with huge quantity of drugs. And according to the information, this guy is a notorious, this particular person who was arrested is a notorious drug lord in Liberia. Let's hear from you, sir. What is going on? What is scaring about this?
So the first thing I like to say while welcoming our dear brother Chokondino, Yellow Machine, is to first correct all of us. I want to, technically disagree with you when you say it's a breaking news. Now, let's get to the denotation or connotation of a breaking news. When I was in high school, Cathedral Catholic School, I did high school journalism. And preliminarily, we were told if a news can be breaking, or something can become news when it is unusual. When something that you didn't expect it happen, it becomes a news. Sometimes there are some usual habits that can become a news. For example, God forbid Joseph Boakai died today. He's a sitting president and he dies. It will become a news because people like to know. So in some cases, some usual occurrences can be news, but most of the time unusual occurrences. For example, you live in a community we all know everywhere and anywhere that it is dog that can bite human being. It's dog that can bite you. Bulldog, funny dog will bite you when they don't know you. That cannot be news. If somebody dog bites somebody today, they say, "Oh, breaking news." You get breaking news every hour. But the day human being get very and boy dog, they won't know who that human being. Why encouraging the boy the dog? The point here is this: for an associate, a ally, a confidant, an employee, an emissary, layman say, a mission boy, for Jeremiah Kung to be linked with drugs dealing and you call that breaking news, you wasting the country time.
I know, right?
That's the point I want to learn to. You wasting the country time. Just say we got another news again. But you make it seem like something strange you did not expect. No, Prince, then you wasting our time. Because this is the very Jeremiah Kun, who Costa, their own mouthpiece, Costa said he was a kidney harvester. Is it this man can harvest kidney? Kidney is an integral part, a very major organ of the human body. Without your kidney, you cannot survive. This man has a history, according to Heron Costa, to harvest kidney. Then talk about dealing drugs. Put it on the scale and see which one is of higher, preference, of which one poses more threat to the society. So, my dear brother, my dear friends, colleagues, fellow Liberians, it is not strange that Jeremiah Kun association with drugs is not strange. Like Sosa rightly plays it far before that revelation. It was a revelation. It was a confession by that deputy that was dismissed. Far before that, you saw even Fadiga himself saying, drugs is at the highest level in government. That was one reason again Fadiga could not come back, AB2 could not come back. So Joe Boaka is always in the habit of looking for a soft spot for DEA. Let nobody say, oh, at least the people talking about it will never kill on at least kill the soft problem. That guy, he's of the lower strata, that deputy who I call unleashed the information, disagree vehemently with the authority. That man doesn't go to their elite meeting. He doesn't know. He's not part of the gang. So you can't tell me it is government consensus. Matter of fact, that man was recruited in being the DA ever since. So it is not Joseph Boaka's agenda to have DA officer dragging Mr. Clifford pay. He is beyond being a confidant. He's a relative. He is a relative to the wife of the guy called Jeremiah Kun. So they have a very close association, very immeasurable proximity. When something is immeasurable, meaning you can't measure to what extent they are close. That is the proximity that they have. So, my dear friends and brother, like I say, I like to reiterate that the government is a government that believes in bastardizing everything. You were in our country when a ghost plane entered our airspace. That plane went to Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone people, when they arrested it from the airspace, that plane where it came from, the point of origin was Liberia, a ghost plane. Nobody know why it entered. But it was Sierra Leone that busted that news. Our country, we didn't care. Then you hear talking about, the DA officer, the Douala. We can say kudos to the DA officer. Kudos to him. So Petra, we need to decorate him. If Joe Boaka was somebody who's serious about fighting jobs, he would call that young man and give him medal the same way that young boy that found the money during the presidency of President George Weah from Nima County. He was given a decorative medal for being honest and sincere. So is the case of this other officer seen on camera. He was never deterred by the profile of Mr. Pay. He said, I will do my job. I will do my job. And so, my dear brother Prince, don't harm yourself, my brother. Cracking donate blood. Joe Boaka brings people around who are like him. And so is Jeremiah Kun. The story goes on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I like the way you put it, Honorable Dogbayu, that this is not, the breaking news, and you are right 100%. Because following the history of this particular vice president is something that is very questionable. He has a very, very questionable, character, a very questionable, kind of dealings. It's something that is common, but it is what it is. But again, we want to say welcome to Chokon. Chokon, you are welcome. Thank you again for joining us. Let's hear from you. Just today, you are in Liberia. We've gathered information that one of the staffer of the vice president of the Republic of Liberia was caught in trying to bail out an individual, and we all know that the issue of drugs is a non-bailable offense. Non-bailable offense. There's a law on that. You don't bail people out in this whole issue of drugs. What say you on this particular issue? Let's hear from you, sir, and welcome again. Just unmute yourself, please. Yeah, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself, Choco. Yeah, unmute yourself, Choco. Yeah, unmute yourself. You are muted. Just unmute yourself. We are not getting you, Choco. Okay. Yeah, we're getting you now.
So you getting me now?
Yeah, you are loud and clear now.
Yeah, just bring me up to speed. I've been finding it difficult to position. So I
Okay.
gotta be changed.
Yeah, so we have a caller on the line here. Let's just take this caller. Then I'm going to bring you up to speed, and we can move on.
Yeah.
So let's take this caller. Hello, caller. Your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Matt T. Jibbe, and I call from Philadelphia.
Okay. Let's hear from you, sir, on this issue of drugs as we are discussing. Let's hear from you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Prince, for the program and for the way you guys are looking at the issue confronting Liberia. I believe the drugs issue, especially for Liberians that are being affected directly from the drugs, it's almost like a pandemic that we had, like COVID and what have you. But looking at the issue, I don't know why we should have a government in place and they are not prioritizing the lives of the common people, especially the young people who should be the leaders of tomorrow. And I believe that's where the problem of the country is. Because if the leaders for tomorrow are not, look at carefully, Liberia is bound to be vulnerable and fall in the hands of different people. And also, I believe that the drug issue is a sensitive issue. Is a issue that they need to look into to solve, the problem. And the police, the director of police, Gregory Coleman, should be the one to initiate this process. I know that you guys have been discussing it, and I just came in the middle of the program, but I believe that Gregory Coleman should be serious about the pandemic. I mean, this particular, I say pandemic because it's destroying and killing our people, and the world is watching. Well, what is happening is not, the drug issue, whatever is happening, like people just politicize it. It's not a political issue. This is an issue that people need to look at holistically and then try to find solution to what is happening to our young people. Okay, so I just believe that talking about this issue is something that is very, very good, and I want to encourage you to keep talking about it. This is my takes on it. But I had different things to discuss, and I just came and met what you just said, and that's what I got to contribute.
Sure. So what you can do, you can just hold the line once we get to the next topic, or you can always just call, and then the next issue you can bring it in. So when we move on to the next topic, if that would be okay for you.
I will hold the line, sir.
Okay, all right, no problem. Okay, so we move on to our brother Chokon. Chokon, there is a disturbing information from Liberia. A staffer in the office of the vice president today was caught attempting to bribe LDA officer with the amount of $700 to release a notorious drug, one would say drug law.
He bribed them. He didn't attempt. He bribed them.
Okay, yeah, who is very, very close to the vice president. He was arrested and it's all over the place. Let's hear from you, sir. What is your own take on that?
So I follow that information, and here's my take on that whole issue about that young man that was caught. The first thing, this should not come as a surprise to anyone for that matter. Whether you are in Liberia, you are in Europe, wherever you find yourself, I don't think they knew should be a surprising news. They reflect. The former acting deputy LDA boss that was dismissed by Mr. Bwaka. He gave a revelation. He gave an open confession. He said, in a quote, that the issue about drugs in Liberia, that business is government business. The people that are selling drugs, the people that are importing drugs in our country are members of the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Because of that statement, what Mr. Bwaka did, Mr. Bwaka is amazing. Why? Because he exposes the government. In my mind, I think he was honest. That's why he brought to the spotlight that even though Mr. Bwaka gave me the job, but the issue about drugs, my children are involved. My children's future are involved. And so let me confess to Liberians to tell them that, oh, gentlemen, I'm not going to compromise my conscience because of one job that Mr. Bwaka gave me. The issue about drugs, we are in a government. Let me put it in my way. We are in a government. We were in a government. We get a BP position there. We don't want selling drugs. So, and there will be a lot of them that will be exposed. Mr. Sheriff, since 1822, for the first time for me to see drugs, loaded in car like Kobe, normally when the people coming from all the time when they bring in a coal, right? They will load the car to the extent that it can be laying one side. You saw that video?
Sure.
Where the people was loaded with. I mean, who can be brave to transport drugs like that? If you don't have the blessing of the government, who can be that brave to look at drugs and fill people with it to the extent that even pop at the car roof and the man driving in pop all the checkpoints where they arrested him? I think somewhere around Broadway. In fact, the car got break down. They just arrest you. The car got break down. Where they go fill the tire, in fact, they were putting the drugs. They got to offload the drugs to pack it back. High Elan Blue. But that is to what level the issue about drugs are being facilitated and sponsored by this government. You don't need rocket scientists for vice president picking to kind of, oh, you're free to men, I want our men. There are a lot of them. And that's why I said the other time that people that went to the Capitol building in protest or march to call the government attention to stop the importation of drugs or whatever they call their campaign, I call that a charade and a mere bluff. Who you saw in the protest? Yomri Kanga Lawrence. Most of the people in executive, people that are charged with the response, in fact, and the four ladies all went for the campaign. They went there to tell the world that we the ones saying the joy you're gonna see us. But many Liberians didn't understand it. The people that you supposed to be elect, we the children in the hall, we complain say no food, we say we put that to her part, then her part say bring my own share, where we put that all and go join the protest. So when you your part join the protest, when you go put that for food, who are you carrying a message to? You saw that government official at that Capitol building making phone on Liberians they go put that for job. The people that supposed to be solving the jobs problem, they went one day they go put that for job, and you surprised that. In fact, you must say you tell the vice president, all I pay the car, who do that so human beings are? Who know what that George people can be transporting around? So it is not strange. It is not strange. The issue about drugs is squarely being sponsored or being distributed among Liberians by this government. It's an open secret. The LDA, former LDA, but is my living test, is my testimony. Don't ask me for any witness. The men are supposed to care drugs. You say we are supposed to care the drugs. That we don't say anything. So if care come from honor, if faith come from honor, what I say, oh, I want to buy them when they die, we can cook it and eat it. We can bury it. Who am I that I'm going to what if I want to argue with you? The former LDA boss said the people in government only holding high position are the ones selling drugs. You were waiting in America, all about man, oh, I don't want to say, no, you lying. And I'm only going to I don't want to do that argument. No. So I'm not surprised, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. And this, I want to start with you before we go across. I want to start with you. My people, with this issue of drugs that we are hearing in Liberia, let's stop pretending. Let's stop behaving like we do not know of what is happening. The government is in the full know of everything that is happening. Joseph Numa Boyka is a beneficiary of drugs money. Joseph Numa Boyka is a direct beneficiary of the money that drugs has produced through his children, through his sons. To the extent that these children are no longer shamed, or they are not even afraid, that they will take casino. Drugs and gambling, it go together. Drugs, gambling, it go together like that. The how it looking like. In our small ghetto, for example, in Liberia, any place you see the people selling the kind of thing, they always play gamble there. Go together. Why you think the president's sons will be brave enough to take gamble center and carry to LBS and Fagon there causing people around? So Boyka is, a beneficiary of the drugs money. So now that he has become president, what his children will do, they will bring it in large quantity. Like Chokan is saying, when I saw that thing, I'm like, what? You want to tell me this quantity of drugs was able to pass through the how you call a border? And I was asking myself, how did we get to this particular location? How, as Liberians, how? With that kind of heavy quantity of drugs, to the extent that the weight of the drugs even affected the car to break down. The car broke down before they even say, oh yeah, that drugs here. So where these guys, that were broad daylight, because that is broad day. That is that the security, they are all over. How did that happen? I thought the police people say they get patrol car that patrolling the highway. So where are those? Are those patrol cars? That few days ago, Gregory Como said he took money for him to buy. One Ghana guy came. He said, "Oh yeah, we're coming." And I didn't want how they little boy say, "Oh, you coming? We gave him car to police and all the other things." So where are those vehicles? And our highways are vulnerable. I thought the people say the car then where they buy, they take it, they give it to police people. The police people all on the highway. Oh, so are you telling us now that the police are even involved in the transportation and the escort of these drugs? Because there is no way that kind of vehicle will pass that nobody will even see. Liberia, as soon as they say 5:30, they start setting checkpoint on all the roads. When you passing in corner, you are afraid and you think that Liberia is almost like a war zone because checkpoints are all over the place, my people. Right in Monrovia alone. In fact, just from how you call Broad Street to get to Railway by taking the single path, you will see more than 38 different checking points all over the place. Before even talking about, imagine if in the city there can be plenty like that. Then think about the highway. Then it's poor because that place you get plenty eyes there. There's not many people who regulating things down there. They may not doing their own thing. All of us are witnesses of what happened when Gregory Como himself exposed his own people. How they were on the road, they using the patrol car, they were collecting money. He went there and collected the black plastic bag in the people here, my people. So you asking me how can drugs enter? I told you the last time that Gregory Como is receiving serious money from these drugs people. It's somebody who is in the cycle. My man, all they get to them, you see, they paying, they doing that salute report. The BB hotel and all the other things. Every the people going after every 2 weeks, they're going to Gregory Como and they're making a salute report. This president, you see, all of them will go there, Ochi and Leotin. He set a special amount for them. I think I'll look for that post and try to repost it. I'll look for it and try to repost it. This is getting very, very serious. This is getting serious.
So why are we surprised? When the people who even Mr. Brecker announced, these people told us that Brecker is involved. Then we surprised. Why are we surprised around the place here? We should not be surprised. The man told us, what told us, that how these people get their money is a lucrative business. These people get money from these things. But fellow Liberians, it is what it is. All we can do is to continue to explain to you how these people are exploiting your children, exploiting your family. My brother Chokon, I want to start from you on this. And then after this, we'll go to the line and take our brother and say he has something to say. We witnessed a very sad situation where two individuals, a motorcyclist and one other lady, from the information that we've gathered, was unalived instantly by the presidential convoy. At the end of the day, in fact, the ambulance came and tried to take away the body. It was people that they say, no, we got to do the right thing. People got to be here on the scene that are related to this fellow so that they can go with this particular fellow. You can't just take the body like that because you don't want for people to know. My brother, where are you? You are one of the leaders of the motorcyclists in Liberia, and this incident has happened. Let's hear from you, sir.
So again, I want to say thank you. I followed that summary execution of the motorcyclist at Banga Highway.
Did you say
And
an execution?
yeah, that's execution. That is not an accident. And Labra must hear this. That issue that involved the death of those two young people, most especially the motorcyclists, I call that a summary execution. And today, our institution issue a statement in regards to the death of our colleague. And I'm going to start with, again, extending our sympathy to the bereaved family. But Mr. Sherry, here is what we have to say and what I have to say on behalf of the motorcyclists. I'm going to carry it back a little bit. Do you remember when President Bouaka was dedicating the NTA buses? He made a statement that motorcyclists should find something else to do with their lives. Do you remember that? And we flagged that. He said we should not tie our lives to motorcycle riding. And we responded to that statement. We agree with President Bouaka on that motorcyclists should not tie their lives to motorcycle riding. But in that statement, he was very deceptive. That statement was coded. He went further. He said we will never ever come back on the road as long as he's the president of Liberia, even though they collected millions of dollars from us. Not just Bouaka. Look, Bouaka even went further and said we should not challenge the police because they are giving the police direct instruction that you don't want to see motorbike flying on the street. He said that at the LTA, I know NTA or the buses compound. NTA, I know NTA, right? Yeah, I think NTA. When he was doing the official, cutting the ribbon of those buses. He threw direct threat. He said in a quote, if you guys want to challenge his authority, you are welcome. But the results will be visible. Bouaka said that at the NTA compound. Even before that statement, Gregory Coleman said on camera.
So while you're going ahead, let me just say this. I just received a notification from Facebook that one of the pages has been reported under the Palava Hut. So you just send me a notification. So, but let's go ahead. Go ahead. We'll resolve it.
So, Gregory Coleman share on camera that if anybody attack him or any police officer, he use a word 5-4. Me and that security man. But when they say 5-4, it means negative. I've been around security people now. Meaning, they will kill you. You are responding to Liberians that were protesting. Not just that. Before Gregory come on a statement, the EPS the director issued similar threats. Now, these threats were coded. These were conversations that Gregory Coleman, the EPS, and the president himself, Wakai. Those statements were coded, and I'm going to decode it tonight. When these statements, when these threats are, this line of threats coming from Mr. Wakai, Gregory Coleman, the EPS boss against Liberians, I'm going to decode it tonight. And let me decode it. It means he hates motorcyclists. He don't want to see us survive. And that is the reason why he are giving the police direct instruction to brutalize our people everywhere in the street. Mr. Sherry go in the street, the police got a higher number of checkpoints than Moroba. In fact, now if somebody hear you, don't in Liberia, you go to the police station. You can't complain when you don't get money on your own. Just go there, just last year I saw one Moroba man parking around Broad Street. How that car was John when I feel the guy run better buy you, don't get worried. Because it is an executive order given by the president that go after any Moroba man you see. So, to slave away the last time, right? To slave away. How that young motorcycle got killed before they place the restriction on? Was it not the result of the police reckless action that led to that young man's death? So if you look at the different trend of threats coming from Mr. Baka official and himself, and all I can say to my motorcyclists, and for Mr. Baka, when you see a convoy coming, keep distant. And for his official, this person has proven beyond all reasonable doubt that he hates you. And that's why
Hello?
hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Our people are finding it difficult to find food to eat after collecting millions of dollars from us. So this statement, if Baka can make this statement in the open, think about what he has said in the private. You think about it. Common sense. If Baka can issue direct threats against motorcyclists in the open and LTA compound, think about what President Baka has shared among his cabinet officials in private. So all I can say to motorcyclists and for the people, these people believe that you should be useless, you should ride motorbike all to your left so you can be useless and so you can enter at their gates to be security. That's why they deny you the means to support your family. And so for me, I can never ever in my entire life consider that as an accident. See the way the car can be moving. See the way Gregory Coleman carry himself. That he's the vice president. Gregory Coleman and President Baka violated all of the laws. But we are saying these people say you get deep hate for Baka. But Baka action is showing that he really hate motorcycling. He don't want to hear or neither hear everybody see the people called motorcyclists. What more you want to see? So the people are wicked, Mr. Sheriff. The people are wicked, they hate motorcyclists. And all I can do is to advise them to avoid the people because they don't want to see you. They hate you. They believe that you are not one of them. The people believe in leadership. They believe that you should be well done, you should continue to be done so you can be bear cause to them. That's why they believe. They don't believe in your hope. And so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, let's hear from you. The convoy of the president ran directly into a motorcyclist. It did not even stop. They sent an ambulance wanting to hijack the body, to take the body from there. It was citizens that had to prevent it. We want
Prince, I think why it is true that the presidential motorcade, right, have the right of way. The essence, because the information we're gathering is that that vehicle was the last vehicle in the convoy of the president. You know, normally when the first pilot car goes, it sends out the signal that everybody should clear the way. The second pilot car will come to ensure that the way it cleared it. You see the presidential motorcade coming, and at the end of the presidential motorcade, that vehicle is allowed to ensure that there are intruder or people intruding into the president. So it should be able, it should come under moderate speed. It should observe. All right. Now, one may say, quote unquote, it's an accident. Let's put it that way. If this is an accident, from the day it happened up to today's day, what has been the government position? For me, let me agree with them. They said an accident. Let me agree with them. You have an accident that claimed the life of 2 of your citizens. The people to whom you swear your oath of office to protect were killed in your motorcade. As a president of the nation, what have you said? What have you done? Have you said anything in the public? For the public to know, oh, there, the president regretted the incident and the rest of it? No. We haven't heard anything. Okay? And some of those motorcade drivers take advantage because they are in the presidential motorcade. They drive very recklessly. All right? They are very reckless in their driving. And these are some of the things that contribute to this kind of accident. Please, I don't understand who in Liberia want to kill a president. That the presidential motorcade runs in such an excessive speed. It's only in Liberia I see that. You go to Ghana, the road is clear, the presidential convoy is moving, taking his own time. You even in the US here, I never see the presidential motorcade moving that kind of excessive speed that the Liberian president or president or convoy moves in. And because they are very reckless and careless the way they move, that's why they continue to kill people. All right? That's why they continue to kill people. And like what Troko said, these guys don't care. More especially when it comes to motorcyclists, they don't care. In fact, they feel that the people called motorcyclists, they are the worst citizens of the country, and they don't deserve to be treated like Liberian. All right? And that has to stop because the people are saying that is the way they are managing to get food on the table for their children. If this guy leaves motorcycle riding right now, what do we have for them? How can we provide jobs for these people? Because mind you, the thousands of motorcyclists in our country, when you take them off the road and they start riding motorbike, or they're not going to find any or something meaningful to do. Some will go find something meaningful. Some will go to start, harassing people at night and taking their belongings because what they have to survive. So they out of my hand for the motorcycle only because they are motorcyclists. I think it is wrong. You got involved into an accident that took the life of your citizen and up to present only because they died on the motorbike. You haven't said anything. You haven't done anything. If these people were injured, so they rushed into the hospital. That's what people died on the spot instantly. If you want the body, why can't you do the right thing? That you want to put If those people probably have taken out body, maybe by that time they finish burying it and then try to develop different story. Because they are noted for lies. They are noted for lies. These things had to stop. There's nothing I'm doing a research on. When I get a full detail, I will let you know. Right now, as we speak, there is a vessel. When you stand at the port of Monrovia, you see that vessel on the waters of on our territorial waters. No one knows what that vessel is doing there, but we can't get details on it.
Sure.
Until we find out what that vessel is doing there, because vessel, normally I work at a port and I was a sailor before. I sailed on a vessel before. When a vessel comes to dock, it takes a while when that vessel, it's going to be on angle because maybe other vessels have, berth at the port and the space is not there. It will wait, but for that vessel, yeah, been there for a couple of days. So we need to know what that vessel is doing there. So we're doing the research. When we get the details, we'll be able to inform the public. But on the issue of the accident that took place, or quote unquote, killing of those motorcycles and the passenger on that motorboat, it was spectacular. I was sympathetic to the bereaved family who lost their loved one and their family member. We say, may the Lord be with you. But that's the kind of government we have now. They are very reckless.
Thank you. Honorable Dubayu, let's hear from you. This particular Chokon referred to it as, he used a strong word. But let's hear from you that it was just, the murder, massacre, however you call it. But let's hear from you.
It's a summary execution.
Summary execution.
So when you are summarizing, or when you are doing summary execution, it's intentional. It's an attempt to obliterate, to get rid, to erase. Like in Rwanda during the genocide between the Hutus and the Tutsi, one race, one tribe wanted to, get rid of the other. So maybe what is informing Chokon is recently Bwaka made a statement that motorcycle it's not your life, So maybe he knows what their life is. Maybe the life is the afterlife. People are surviving. That is their livelihood. They are souls of survival. But you without any desire, no appetite whatsoever, to give them alternative livelihood, you opt to have them obliterated. Or maybe not living life like you stopping their livelihood. It first started, when Chokon says summary execution, it might just be as raw as it is, but let's look at some historical literature surrounding this. You came to power, you sell motorcycle, first you need helmet, the people purchase a helmet. Later on, you say they need lesson plate. They bought the lesson plate, they get insurance, and now you stop them from going into the street. That's beyond summary execution. That's criminality. Broad day. You're depriving people from living, and when they are deprived from living, they die with stagnation and starvation. So that could be summary execution. Now, since that is not working, so it has become physical to the extent that you got vehicles, because under our law, the presidential vehicle in motion, whatever it does, are free of charge. So they use that, they use the legal means to do illegal things. Let's say, for instance, the DEA are there to fight drugs. They pick up, instead of using it to go run after drugs, when you use it to transport drugs, the vehicle is a legal instrument, legal conduit, but you illegally execute. So people using a presidential vehicle, like sources say, running for whatever reason, we're not fighting war in Liberia. It's not a police state. It's not a hot zone. It's not a mafia state that the life of the president is at stake. Nothing as such exists. But only God Almighty, the supreme spirit, He's the only spiritual being that can interpret the reasoning behind our presidential comfort. Now, I'm told Mr. Joe Walker, he can be in his house while he's removing his shoes and removing his beard. Is when the convoy can be as far as Todi. Now he's reminding us of the days of Charles Taylor, the days of jungle justice and malicious life. This brings back bad memory, Mr. Prince Sharif, that our president, who in his own house few years back, Corin used to go, you live a very vulnerable life. And you say who want to kill you, Bwaka? that you go in and buying 1.2 million, I know $1.2 million Lexus, bulletproof, and you beefing up your security. It doesn't stop there, hitting people here and there. Nobody know where you're running going. Nobody know what Boga running going. Boga, if you're doing well, you don't need to be going banga and hitting people here and there. In the worst of an accident can occur. But if it happens to the extent that the president did not even express any sympathy, that sense of altruism, putting yourself in the shoe of others, feeling their pain for a second, where is that compassion? Where is that love as a father? Where is that sense of, where is that emotional state that you will stand and feel and say, yeah, this could be me. This could be my relative. This could be somebody offspring of me. Where is that sense of compassion? It's missing, it's mute. It's shielded, adopted. Put adopted on it, and close it. It's not breathing. That's that conscience. That scrupulous conscience that is responsible to spark your sincere details and make it understand that the golden rules they do unto others as you have them done unto you. You already depriving a man, you bringing in Oriental D, you making a budget, social safety net is not being honored. You already have a police brutality, armed robbery, criminality is on the increase. The man is already struggling to pay school fees. Marketeer, his mom to the house not selling in the market. The children go to school, they can't eat. Malnourished. Rape is increasing. The man child to the house is being raped. AIDS, HIV and AIDS, people are defenseless. Health budget is decreasing. RIA people traveling, the runway has pothole everywhere. Avion not taking pay on time. Police, people losing from the barrier. All of these things happening, yet you say others should not survive. This is the state we have on Joe Boaka. And if this is not touching your soul, you listening to me, my dear brothers and sisters. What else can touch your soul? What else can touch your soul? What else? If you are not seeing this reality, we're not making up story yet. Raw, undiluted videos. You see them live. Yet, what can you say? You that listening to me right now, who is a Boaka supporter, and you think we just try to be political about everything, how did Boaka come here? Was he religious? Boaka was preaching every day? Sharing toffee in the community? Isn't the same Boaka who said when he didn't win, there will be no peace in Liberia? Isn't that same Boaka who said Jaws was a pandemic and the Boaka had the biggest billboard, his sabu was shining on that billboard, posted red to Johnson Street. Brian Johnson read there was a symbol before entering on the Stocking Creek Bridge. Jaws, they said George Weah and Finabono were bringing in zombie. How now? I listen to one chorus saying we're making this political. Oh, should we make them religious? Let me be honest, Prince, and I was surprised he didn't cut the chorus. Who is Boaka now? Should we make that religious? Boaka said that was the reason why he wanted to be president, because George Weah did not have the prescription to fight Jaws. And somebody telling, oh, now we're being political. That person needs to tell us what we should do. We go on Hallelujah Challenge. We should go to where God does not exist to go pray for this. Let him tell us, how do we solve this problem? You made a budget. If you say there's a pandemic, how much is in that budget for DEA? How much is there for whistleblower? How much is there to secure our border? 176 border points. Only you got less than 6 of those border points are secure, which less than 5%. Most of our border points are porous, where we have a lot of toxic trade, inflow and outflow, not secure. How much money there for immigration? And you say we're making this political? Okay, people that are supposed to make it non-political, what are they doing in the middle of the budget? Out of that budget, Boaka alone get 15 million. The Boaka, just the 3 branches of government, it has a big 5. You know how much million in that budget? How much all the schools get together, how much they get? And you say we're making this political? So yeah, I pity the motorcyclists. They've died. Boaka has not even called the family yet. An emissary from the executive mansion has not gone there yet. Where is that sense of empathy? Where is it? Let's assume that I will ask them, man. But you can't go and say, sorry, Boaka. I heard the family complaining, crying on one outlet. And that family is a breadwinner. So they not just has somebody been killed, but a whole family has been deprived from living. And you say Chokon should not say summary execution? That's a summary execution. That's my conclusion on this.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm getting some terrible stuff here. For some reason, the other page, our survey, it's like it has been reported. But no problem, no problem. We get this done. We've been here for a while. We stay here. We solve it. All right. So I want to put my brother on the line here as he talk about this issue of the death of this motorcyclist that was hit by the convoy of the president, and then we can conclude from his end. Welcome back. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to say thank you again for having me on the line. For the on
Yeah, it's on Kakata Highway. Yeah.
Highway. Yes, that incident that took place is something that that helped us to see and to understand the government of the Republic of Nigeria going with our people. For the fact that the president convoy, already left, and some of those cars are still behind. I think even though it's an advanced team, but the one that was behind should have been cautious enough to know that there's human being right before them. But instead, they went ahead and then just collided with this guy and killed him instantly. In my view, I think the best thing to have done was to come back to the family, since it's something that was not really, happening. Instant or let's say they deliberately did it, they should have come back immediately to the family, to tell the family sorry, and they were going to take responsibility of what really took place. But they had the Liberian to be on the scene, to help the government to understand what has happened. One thing I'm looking at is that human beings who have been merged into power should know that the people they are leading are other human beings. And if you are leading other human beings, you should be passionate enough, because